Sometimes we're blue, so give us something to do. Show me to us, Rachel. Ow! All right, everybody. Welcome to Show Me to Us, Rachel. I'm Nate.
And I'm Sam.
And we're neurodivergent.
Which means that we need to fill our time with hyperfixation.
Hyperfixations.
Oh, sorry. I forgot that we do that together.
God, you messed it up.
You guys are really good at having a podcast so far.
This is all we do. This is it. This is the whole thing. It's only 30 seconds. And to help us do that, every week we bring in a Rachel of the Week to show us a new hobby or obsession that we know absolutely nothing about. Then we take a week and try it ourselves.
This week, our guest is quite possibly the best trombonist in the entire world, Henry Carpenter. Welcome, Henry Carpenter. How are you?
I'm Rachel.
This is our Rachel.
I'm very happy to be here. I saw that you were starting exactly this podcast, and immediately, without hesitation, I was like, "Oh, I can talk about my thing.
Yep.
I can talk about my thing. I know about my thing. I'll talk about my thing. I have a thing.
Henry
That's my thing."
responded to my Instagram story and said, "Does this very specific thing count?" And I was like, "Absolutely, that's perfect."
So tell us what this thing is, Henry.
Well, so before I tell you what this thing is, I have to tell you what it's not, because already it's layered. It's layered in so much nerddom. I went to music school, and I liked music school so much that I had to go back to music school a second time. And I went for trombone, which is already I am just a completely lost case turbo nerd. Absolutely no redeeming. And so it's at this point, everything I do digs me deeper into that hole because there's no getting out of it. Because I have to look people in the eye and with a straight face say that I have a master's degree in trombone.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
Awesome. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, it's not good. But this habit actually...
Nate and I have BFAs in musical theater. So.
Yeah.
It's not much better.
True.
We're right there with you.
But this hobby actually transcends trombone because it predates me being a trombone player by a good bit. It's actually my first hyperfixation, my first tunnel vision, and it has to do with everybody's favorite Tylenol warrior trait, which is trans. That's my thing. But the thing that I messaged Sam about specifically wasn't trains, because we could all talk about trains. Everyone can talk about trains. If you know ball, you can talk about trains. But the thing that I'm down with is the Smash 2003 game Railroad Tycoon 3. That's my thing. I played it yesterday. It was one of the first games I purchased on Steam as an adult when I was in my undergrad in college in 2016, my freshman year. I was just man, I miss home. What should I get to remind me of home? And I was I know. I'm going to play this Railroad Tycoon 3 game I loved. So, I don't know if I'm getting ahead of the questions, but I'll give you my rundown history. Okay,
please.
So, I started playing this game in 2008, maybe, 2009. A couple years after it came out on the Mac OS X. Because my late grandfather, who actually also is the reason I play trombone, which is pretty rad. That he's both my trombone and my Railroad Tycoon 3 hookup, which is pretty rad. Thank you, Papa. Love you. But it was when I was a kid, I was how did you scientifically engineer the perfect video game to get for me? Meanwhile, for him, it was a total shot in the dark because it's not actually a railroad game. It's an econ simulator. It's all about running your own successful business and edging out the competition and playing under these very specific parameters. And the product that you are working with is a railroad. And so that's essentially it's it ticks that box for rail fans, but it's mostly about an econ simulator. When I was 7 or 8, I didn't give a shit about any of that. I didn't care. They had a sandbox mode where you could just build with trains, and that was for little nerds like me who just wanted to make trains go burr. And so awesome. I would make these little cities and pretend to make towns and run them through with trains, and I had my favorite trains in the game that I liked and all this good business. And then as an adult, I was like, when I would play the campaign as a kid, I would lose every single level because I was like, but I built track and I made a train. Why isn't it working? Because I didn't understand that like I had to like run a business and like
this is a business.
Yeah, like
cutthroat train.
Yeah, when you get your income sheet at the beginning of every year, when you get your business ledger that tells you how good you're doing at having a company, it was always like, the shareholders are mad at you. And I was like, why? I built a train! Like, I did my
like
job!
10 years old, like, the shareholders.
Yeah, real
what
anxiety.
more do they want?
Well, it wanted you to make money. It wanted you to look at the extremely dense... Like, that's the thing, is that, like, there's the button that is the build track, and then there's the button that's build stations, and then there's the button that's build a train. And those are the only 3 buttons I cared about. But all the other buttons on the main like menu interface were the stock market and were your share price and were like these complicated maps and charts and things. And then it had like here's where the valuable cargo is. You have to go to these cities. You have to get things from over here to over here. You have to like manage your money. You have to like be a profitable company. You have to have capital on hand. You have to manage your debt. Like, and all those things now, I'm like, even though this is the opposite of how I am as a person, I'm just like, oh, yeah, unfettered capitalism simulator, go burr. This is rad. I'm going to obliterate these people. And it's like, hey, you can improve station loading times if you let your workers unionize. And I'm like, nope, wrong. Don't want that. Those guys can suffer for the privilege of working at my railroad. I'm gonna be the king. Like that was so. That's how I play the game now.
That's awesome.
Well, so I guess this will be helpful. Maybe my lens through which I'm coming at this. I mean, Sam and I are both gamers, but when I was a kid, I played a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon. I played mainly 1 and then 3, and then I played a lot of Zoo Tycoon.
Yeah,
like pretty much all the Zoo Tycoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too, Sam. Yeah.
The newer one's not very good though. Fun fact.
Well, if you're a Zoo Sim fan, you got to be playing Planet Zoo.
That's
the king now. But anyway, so like, but I'd never even heard of Railroad Tycoon. So what is there like? Are they similar to? Is it similar to either of those at all? Roller Coaster or Zoo?
I just pulled up the Roller Coaster Tycoon because I had the Railroad Tycoon 3 wiki up because I was like, I need a quick reference sheet in case I need to, I need a fact check. But it's different publishers and different developers entirely. Even though they have Tycoon in the name, I was kind of surprised.
I would have assumed it would have been the same franchise.
Yeah, I kind of also had I always thought that was the case, but no, this is like its own thing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Eventually, Railroad Tycoon. Okay, here we go. This is actually there's a relationship with Railroad Tycoon to Sid Meier, who does the Civilization games.
Fucking love
so I think that's the through line for other games. I don't think it was just some randos. For the longest time, it was Pop Top Software. That's the one that made 3 that I play. I'm trying to see if there's any like.
Yeah, was Firaxis involved? The company that makes Civ? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But I think at the very end, I think that it kind of like was born out of the development of these games.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Wait. So like Firaxis came from the development of these games?
I think perhaps because the first Railroad Tycoon was in 1990.
Oh my god!
Why don't I know about these?
It was Railroad Tycoon in 1990, Railroad Tycoon Deluxe in 1993, Tycoon 2 was in 98. Shout out me, I was born that year.
5 years later. Yeah.
And then, they were really hard at work putting together the game. And then
well, I mean, they probably were in 1993.
Yeah, true. I mean, they were like, we made a game and it's almost a whole gigabyte, and it's like, wow, guys, that's amazing.
Good job.
Yeah, no, I went to download it, and by the time I click install, I went to go like check my email and came back and it was ready. I was like, this is fantastic. I love old games like this. But yeah.
I guess you already went through how you got into it, which was because of your grandpa, you said, right?
Yeah, my before even my grandfather, I was obsessed with trains. Like, this was my parents, they ran out of Thomas the Tank Engine, popular train media that you could find. They were finding like the weirdest, like, I love toy trains, like model railroad, like stuff. They eventually we had a hobby shop in my town. Shout out Ron's Hobbies, love you. Sure. And
pitch another show. Yeah. We're sponsored by Ron Hobby. Yep.
You got it.
Wow. Brand deal. Ron's Hobbies brand deal. But they would just they walked into Ron's Hobbies and they were like, "Do you have anything on VHS that my child who's obsessed with trains could watch?" And they were like,
Right.
I mean, maybe. And it was just like 7-hour long VHSs of like rail fans being like,
Oh my god.
we're here in Virginia at the Appleton Interlocking, and we're going to watch a CSX is bound for Appaloosa coming through here. And then it was just like a guy with like a Steadicam like zooming out as like a train approached.
Oh my god.
And I would put that on the TV in the background while I was playing with my wooden trains, like Thomas the Tank Engine trains and all that business. I needed train ambiance.
You were fully immersed.
While I was,
Train ambiance.
I did, yeah.
Holy shit.
And when I was old enough to, like, you know, be playing computer games, my grandparents and parents were, like, desperately, like, I had a ravenous appetite for train content still. It really died out, like, when I went to middle school, and now that I'm an adult, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, wait a minute, I'm big and I have resources.
I was on to something.
Yeah, I can just buy these things. Like, now I'm a grown-up and I can do what I want with my money. So that was, like, that's where it came from. This, like, love of this video game was my obsession with trains at an early age.
Quick side question. Do you have a favorite train?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. If I promise to be brief, can I give you, like, a quick, like, couple great
You
ones?
don't have to be brief. This is your time.
This is literally
this is your
for
episode.
you. Yeah, go crazy.
Okay, so in many respects, the railroads themselves are so evil, and the people who make trains, the companies that make trains, GE, Baldwin Locomotive, like, they were also pretty evil, because they were just like, they hated like the labor movement. They did everything in their power to fight the labor movement.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that the locomotives themselves aren't fucking kick ass. But
completely separate.
the first one that came to mind is the GG1. It is a total Art Deco masterpiece. It was primarily the prime mover that was used by the Pennsylvania Railroad. I want to say it entered service in the late 20s, early 30s, maybe before that a little bit. It was around the turn of the century.
That's sexy.
GG1 is so slick. Cool. GG1 is slick, dude. And the dual pantographs at either end for, you know, whichever direction. It had the dual cabs. It was an absolute powerhouse for the railroad. It was everything. It was sleek. It was efficient. It was reliable. It became a total mainstay for the Pennsylvania Railroad, which at one point was like the biggest company in human history. Like, Pennsylvania Railroad was massively successful and then completely plummeted because of conspiracy by the companies that manufacture cars and car parts. Railroads were completely gutted by special interest group lobbying, and so they merged with New York Central to create Penn Central, which was a massive failure. And then it went from being one of the biggest companies in the country to being, today, at that time, the largest bankruptcy suit of all time. So it was this, like, epic rise and fall.
Wow.
I love Henry because I learn this much every time I talk to him.
That's really nice of you to say.
It kind of looks like it. I don't even. This might be just like a random train. I don't even know if you know it. But there's a. I'm from New Mexico originally, and there's a train called the Rail Runner that goes from Santa Fe to, or yeah, it kind of goes from Santa Fe kind of throughout the south of New Mexico, and it kind of looks like that. Yeah.
That's an
Rail
awesome
Runner is
thing
great
to say.
So you know it?
I'm hip. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not. The color scheme and its operations are vaguely known to me. It's really That's Chicago's crazy. Rail that I'm knowledgeable about because I just love Chicago and I love Chicago history. But I gotta look it up now. That's like the Rail Runner. I mean,
yeah, it's like the Road Runner. So it's got like a big old Road Runner on it.
That's incredibly New Mexican, yeah.
It's kind of like it's like the Metra.
Yeah, so
really?
that is who made it? Is that Siemens? Yeah, I think it's Siemens. They have that's their prime mover. What's their rolling stock? I'm finding out right now. This is what I do in my free time. No, it's Bombardier, who makes the coaches. Motive Power, who makes the locomotive.
I love trains, and I love the Metra specifically. Like whenever I get a chance to ride the Metra,
outstanding.
I love it. I love the bouncy seats. I love how quiet it is.
I do love trains.
I love pretending I'm asleep so I don't have to pay.
Yeah. It's my favorite way to travel. It's the most relaxing. It's like generally cheaper than a lot of ways. It takes longer, but like it's like kind of a luxury. You get to eat. Wheel cars.
I regularly I have to drive to get to my jobs, and one of my jobs is in Downers Grove. And I regularly have to drive to and from Downers Grove in rush hour. It takes me an hour 15.
Oof.
And I love my students out there. I'm happy to go out there. I love working at DGS. They're fantastic. I do wish I could just kind of like fold the map over and move my apartment closer to DG.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But such is life. And it's funny to think about how the hour 15 I spend in the car is oftentimes grueling, stressful, frustrating. At worst, at best, it's boring.
Yeah.
Huh.
On the Metra, you spend maybe the same time, maybe a little bit more. At worst, it's boring.
Yeah.
At best, it's fast, relaxing, cheap, and efficient.
Yeah.
You can read, you can do work, you can you can scroll TikTok. And
they got plugs on there. They got plugs on there.
True.
They got plugs on there.
Yeah.
Insane.
They got a pilot for the cafe car. They're thinking about bringing the cafe car back. So that's cool.
Wait, to the Metros?
Yeah. They got it running on the BNSF line, I think.
Wait, that's actually insane because people use that to go to and from like work downtown all the time. That would be next level.
Yeah. I don't know.
That'd be sick.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, God, I could talk about how cool Metra is and also how maligned Metra is. Like, there is not a corner of Chicago rail that you can talk about that I don't have an opinion on. I might not be knowledgeable about it, but I for sure have an opinion. I'm an American. What can I say?
Well, actually, okay. I'm so intrigued by that. We're gonna pin that because I think I want to do like a hot takes Chicago rail at the end of this.
We'll come back around to that.
Yeah, that's great.
Just to jump back to Railroad Tycoon 3 for a second. So I mean, we're gonna be playing this next week. We're both gonna get it.
It's like $9. No, it is not an in-demand game.
I spent $50 when we did friendship bracelets, so that's easy.
If anything, this is keeping Sam from spending more money. So I mean, it's pretty clear how we should get into it. We should just get it. But how like what do you hate about it? What's something that like really grinds your gears?
Something that I used to hate about it is that it was old. It sucks to play an old video game. I love Skyrim, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I should play more of these games. And I went back and I wanted to play Morrowind. Impossible to do. Making that big a leap backwards is genuinely difficult. But if the thing about it is that if you can both, one, contextualize it for the fact that it's a 3D game that was made for CD-ROM in 2003, it's actually pretty groundbreaking. Like, it's cool.
Morrowind was huge at the time.
Yeah, and it runs smooth as hell on what we have now. I mean, you could run
it better.
You could run 10 windows of Railroad Tycoon, and it's all at peak performance. It's not exactly the most demanding game in the world.
Are you talking from experience?
Yeah, I'm playing like 4D chess. I'm playing against myself.
I'm playing 10 right now. I'm playing 10 right now.
But I think the thing that's frustrating about it is, well, two things. One, I wish that the expansion that actually came out for it was actually a meaningful expansion. Because an expansion, the Coast to Coast expansion came out for it. It involved a bunch of new scenarios and a bunch of new trains. At the time, that was probably a pretty sizable expansion. But looking at it now, I'm realizing that, like, this is a game that you could play all the campaign on hard, and then all the scenarios in probably less than 30 hours. And so it's not a ton of game. But, again, that's a time period thing. There's also something that's totally true about the game, and it's that many of the scenarios, especially the historical ones, approach the setting with, how do I put this? 2003 brain. There are some things that they take for granted and ways they choose to portray things that are different than how we would do it now.
Like what? What?
I mean, one of the harder scenarios that I always have a difficult time beating that I love to play, takes place in German East Africa, and you play in Berlin Conference colonized Africa, and you have to connect to Rhodesia, and it's not exactly. I mean, like, it's history, so like on that front, it's like this was real, you know.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're like simulating it and being like, "Ooh, you can make a fun railroad," is sort of like, boy, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
That's how I feel about like Civil War reenactors.
Yeah,
it's like I'm like people die.
Like I'm like why is this the one you're all dressing up for?
Yeah.
Now.
And Civil War was another interest of mine when I was like in middle school. Because Civil War is just like massively interesting.
Yeah.
And so like I can understand Civil War obsession from the merits of like, well, it's interesting to use the United States as a terrain for warfare and using the states in terms of like them being actually in combat. But it is also like, it's grim. And also the topic of Civil War, a little bit touchy in today's day and age. So
a little too topical.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah. So
okay though, follow up just to kind of branch it out. So the thing you kind of hate most about the Tycoon is just its age. What would you say is the thing you hate most about like trains and railroads in general, like in real life?
I knew I was going to get asked this question specifically, and I have to like.
I feel like I can guess. But I want to.
I need to suck really bad for a second. in close second, and I mean close second, are rail fans, because rail fans can be
interesting,
deeply irritating, pedantic people, and it's because of the fact that so much rail knowledge is very easily accessible nowadays, because rail fanning is a hobby and a historical interest that can only go back to about 1840. And so because it's all very like Industrial Revolution, we know pretty much anything that we want to know about almost every railroad that has ever existed. So the ability for you to know accurate information is very high, but the ability for somebody to casually interact with that information is very low. And so rail fans who have gotten that information, they could be real dicks about it.
Really easy to be like a fake expert immediately.
Actually.
Yeah, exactly. That's second place. But in first place is railroads themselves. Because Union Pacific is a fucking horrible company who's funding. I don't know how much you're going to talk about politics. We don't have to get into it, but they're one of the major donors to.
We can talk about
to the fund that is currently paying for Trump's bunker ballroom. Union Pacific is a massive donor.
What? Really?
And part of the reason why they're a massive donor isn't just probably because they're all, hyper ultra far right conservatives, but also because of the fact that Union Pacific is trying to merge with Norfolk Southern right now. Norfolk Southern, a company you remember, tried to blow up a town in Ohio because they were so bad at taking care of their railroads there was that huge derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. Yeah, that was them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about that. That's insane.
Railroad companies. It is essentially in the United States, in North America, there are essentially 3 duopolies and 1 relative monopoly. The 1 relative monopoly is not that bad of an actor. It's Ferromex down in Mexico. But the duopoly in the north is between Canadian National, horrible company, and Canadian Pacific Kansas City Southern. They merged back in 2023. And they're a terrible company. Kansas City Southern was the last independent Class 1 railroad that got merged out of existence.
Wow.
That's the Canadian duopoly. There's the East Coast duopoly, which is Norfolk Southern and CSX, which are again massive corporate conglomerations. CSX is the Baltimore and Ohio, the Chessie system, that whole southeastern quadrant. Norfolk Southern is another similar type in the Northeast. And then in the West, it's Burlington Northern Santa Fe. Used to be Burlington Northern and Santa Fe.
Oh, yeah.
New Mexico. Yes, yeah, that's a big. Santa Fe has its fingers all over the American Southwest. Yeah, and then in the Northwest is Union Pacific. Union Pacific.
Yeah.
Union Pacific has largely existed for a long time. It's sort of one of the oldest contiguous ones. BNSF is relatively new. Burlington Northern and Santa Fe merged, I want to say, around 2009, maybe.
We're going to check
I'm really spitballing. All these companies are responsible for massive dereliction of responsibility when it comes to taking care of rail infrastructure and making sure that the business that they run does not diminish the quality of life of the people in the United States. Be they consumers or be they just civilians. They don't repair infrastructure until it is absolutely failing and necessary. Large cities and municipalities actually can't repair bridges that they would otherwise repair because they're not their property, even though they were running over roads that are run by that municipality.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Damn.
There are thousands of cases of labor protections being skirted, of horrible labor conditions for these workers who work on the railroads. And people who work on the railroads, that is some old school blue collar shit. Those people make America, and I'm not exaggerating. The railroads built this country, and they deserve to be treated with fair pay, safe working conditions, benefits, adequate time off, and they are getting none of those things because of how horrible these companies are, because they are completely unchecked in their own corporate spaces. So the worst thing about railroads is the railroads.
That's
wow.
Well presented.
We both stand up.
And that man was Albert Einstein.
Wow.
I guess if you think about it too, I feel like the railroad in pop culture goes under the radar so much, but I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was one of the first biggest booming industries in the United States.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I get it does have like a long and powerful history in the country, and it still transports a lot of material. Like it's still a very, It
is to date still the most efficient way to move cargo. Airplanes are too expensive. The rolling ratios and carrying capacities of trucks, offset also by the cost of having to maintain highways, completely erases any efficiency that you would gain by the specificity of being able to bring a truck anywhere. Rail is the most efficient way to move cargo, period. And it's a real shame that it exists in the way that it does. Because more than just pulling the country closer together, right? The fact that people in, the fact that it started as people in New York get to New Haven, and then it started as people in New York get to Washington, D.C., that Northeast Corridor is still the most popular Amtrak service. And then it was that people could get from New York to Chicago, and then it was that people could get from New York to Los Angeles. And that's crazy. The fact that happened in, like, the span of less than 100 years is insane. I mean, it's rivaled almost by the fact that the Wright brothers' first flight could have taken place within the fuselage of the biggest plane that has ever been built, and that happened within 100 years.
That's crazy.
Crazy scale.
And that's the power of industry, baby.
I mean, it is.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah. No, please,
Like,
go first.
So yes, I mean, fun game, really fun game. But I guess like just the downside is that it's a terrible industry that's hurt a lot of people and workers.
That's true.
So not a big deal. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna try this game. Also, little known fact, rail fanning, lesser known sibling of Dakota fanning.
Hey, now there we go. I didn't realize we were related.
I thought this was a bit. Is this not a bit?
It's a bit.
Whoa.
It's a bit.
Dakota, L, and rail fanning.
I sat on it so long. And
no, that's really good.
It wasn't worth anything.
You actually do deserve a prize for how patient you just were.
So honest, it's still gone over my head.
I was like, I can't say it, and then it got to a point where I was like, it's actually funny now if I say it so later.
Perfect. That was perfect.
Well, I think so. I mean, besides, I guess like the looming gloom and doom of capitalism, is there anything else we should be aware of or watch out for while we're playing this game?
Yeah, for getting into the game. Yeah.
So a couple things. The first is
bring our scope back down.
Play the tutorial. I didn't play the tutorial. I jumped right in. I figured out everything by sucking ass at the game. And then when I went back to play the tutorial, I thought to myself, God, I wish I had played the tutorial.
Yeah.
This is so much easier now. Like, once you get the operation of the game, very simple. Run the game on normal speed or fast speed. Very fast is too fast. Slow, not useless. Useless speed. Unless you're trying to do something very specific, you can play on normal. But yeah, it is a very gentle learning curve for operating the game, understanding the game. Watch the tutorial; it covers basically everything that you need to. It's super helpful. Okay. And as for railroads in general, this is actually a positive spin on railroads. One of the things that's cool about being a rail fan now, and one of my favorite things about it, is that if you know what to look for, you can see the scars of rail everywhere. You can see... One of my favorites is on Elston. Yeah, on Elston. There's... I want to say like Elston and Nelson, more or less. There's like... it's near your place. It's near your place. Yeah. Sorry, not to dox you, but...
Shit.
You can see this weird... There's like a angled sidewalk. And you can see this big, like, concrete trapezoid where the earth kind of rises by a fire department near Honey Butter Fried Chicken. And
I think I know exactly the one you're talking about. Yeah.
There is up on the top of that little earthen embankment, there's rail, because that used to be a rail spur. And all over Elston, there used to be a train bridge that went that way. And you can still see the old Kenwood station if you go down, hang out in Northern Hyde Park in Kenwood. You can see bricked up the old Kenwood station on the old Kenwood branch of the CTA. You can, when you're driving on 290, you can still see the Paulina flyover for a part of the Blue Line that doesn't exist anymore, back before it was the Blue Line. There is almost nowhere in Chicago that you cannot look where you cannot see the old scars of how the city used to look. And that is fucking cool. It is so much fun to look for that stuff and to be like, yeah, that used to go there. And you can see this right here. Lincoln Yards is one of the biggest ones. I mean, fuck the Lincoln Yards development, but also like they still haven't, you can see it on Google Maps. They haven't taken out the bridge, the swivel bridge that exists on a turntable, so that large cargo barges could come up and down that branch of the Chicago River, and then they could swivel it back, and rail cars could go over the bridge, and access the steel industry right there that used to be there. It's all gone now, but it's so much old Chicago is still there if you know what to look for.
That's awesome,
and this is true all across the country. All across the country.
Well, damn it.
That was so poetic too. The scars of old rail.
Yeah. I mean, we could literally listen to you talk about railroads for so much longer. I'm so fascinated. I have like 8 more questions.
And I will.
But unfortunately, we're running out of time. So, I mean, we're going to give railroads a shot. We're going to try this game. I'm so excited to like kind of get into this world. So you got anything else?
No, I'm psyched. I'm excited. I really like the movie Snowpiercer, and I really like the anime Baccano, and they both take place on trains, and I think that's cool.
Brad.
All right. Well, everyone, we'll see you after the break, the transition, where we will have tried Railroad Tycoon 3. Thanks so much for being here, Henry.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. This was such a pleasure to talk about this. I never get the chance to talk about this with anybody. Very happy to talk to y'all.
Yeah. We love Henry. If you ever need a trombone, make sure that you contact Henry Carpenter. He's on Instagram.
Available.
Also, go see his quintet. It plays at Fitzgerald's
the first Wednesday of every month. Fitzgerald's
the first Wednesday of every month. He's incredibly talented. He writes jazz music. It's awesome.
All right. See you in a week. Woo.
Bye.
Okay. And we're back.
Hey.
And that is the least Sam would yell at the start of this intro.
I tried 4 times to start this intro by screaming
with yelling,
and also cracking open a beer, and Nate didn't want me to use any of them.
They're all terrible ideas.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back.
Yeah, nice.
It's been a little while because we got really busy, but Nate and I finally got to do some trains yesterday.
Yeah, sorry guys, I booked.
Yeah.
Sorry guys,
Tell me what you're doing.
I booked a big ol' understudy gig at an equity house, so it's pretty cool.
Big ups, big exciting stuff for Nathaniel.
So it got crazy, but we're back.
Yeah.
We're back on schedule. We're back on schedule.
I will say I wish that I was able to dive a little harder into some trains than I did, but I feel like I got a pretty cursory exploration.
Were you trying to say girthy?
Cursory.
And cursory?
I think
that's awesome.
Girthery.
Girthery is great. That sounds like a D&D name.
Girthery. It's like Gunthery, but girthy. He's got big old chungus. Anyways, Nate and I
we played some trains.
We played the Railroad Tycoon 2003?
Yeah, 3. I think it came out in like 2007 or something, maybe.
Gotcha.
I'm probably wrong. But also I just want to quickly touch on, man, Henry knew so much about trains and about rails in Chicago, and it was such a treat.
Oh yeah, Henry's an intelligent dude. I learn stuff every time I speak to him.
Yeah, I didn't know like anything about railroads really.
Yeah,
and he knew so much.
Yeah, And I think I quoted this, and one of my favorite things he said was something about everywhere you look, there's like evidence of the scars of old rail or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, dude. And I was looking, so I live on Goose Island, and just east of my place, there's some of that. And I've just been paying a little bit more attention since that.
I thought you were gonna say, yeah, I just noticed there's a whole Metra train track right beside my home.
Nah, it's like you know how it's like a road now, but there's like straight up train tracks that go through it, and there's a couple big old metal bridges over here, like by the salt shed.
Yeah.
And Goose Island. Yeah, I don't know. I should try to do some urban exploration around there soon, but I don't know. Maybe.
No, I've been noticing stuff too. Like when there's also that big old what's it called, that big old like old trail, that train track trail that they turned into like a trail garden kind of thing on the west side.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
I think
it's like the 606 trail or something.
Yeah. And it's like a walking path now, right? Or bike?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's really pretty.
I do know. I don't think I've ever been on it, but I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, it makes me think of like all the greenery in like Castle in the Sky, that Miyazaki movie.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
With all like grass growing over old technology and stuff.
Yeah. Hold on, my monitoring's off. It's confusing me. There we go. I had to burp, but it was a false alarm.
I'll cut it.
No, you gotta leave this stuff in. That's real. That's theater, Nate. This is it. This is life. Anyways, what was I talking about?
Yeah, a lot of the I just like the idea of like railways being hidden, or like remnants of railways still being in the city, and like it's kind of I don't know if have you ever been to Seattle?
Yeah, a couple times.
Do you know about all the underground there?
No, actually.
They basically I could be totally getting a lot of this wrong, but they built a town like kind of on top of the original town. So there's a lot of like underground streets and underground storefronts, and you can go on tours to like look at them. And then there's also this is actually really funny. There's a lot of like that really thick glass that's inside of locker rooms at swimming pools or gyms that you can't really see through, but it's like square tiles and they're really thick.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, or like they're in like bathrooms a lot, or like or like saunas or things like that.
I do know exactly. Yeah, they're like cubes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they have there's things like that on a lot of the street corners, in the sidewalk, like in the ground, and they're like everywhere. And on one of these tours I went on in Seattle, they basically tell you that there were like people that would once this town was built on top, and it was still like I think Industrial Revolution time period, or maybe like early 1900s, people, prostitutes would stand on top of these grates, and people would pay like pimps to like come under to like stand under the glass and like take a look at things before they purchased. But it like obviously wouldn't work because it was like very thick glass. They weren't seeing anything.
Yeah.
So I think it was just like a money making scheme.
Unique.
But that was like one of the things they used those for.
That's did you learn that like on a tour or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was on like a walking tour, like where you like went down into a lot of these tunnels and stuff.
That's so
and there was like people would just stand over them in their dresses, and I was like, that's crazy.
Huh. Well, hell yeah. Yeah, I was also thinking a lot about, and playing this game that we played a little bit also made me think about just like the history of like railroad in like the United States and the Industrial Revolution, and like because I played this scenario that was all about like getting out west in the United States, and I don't know, the whole history of rail really intrigues me because of how there's still today things that only trains can do and only railroads can do, but it's still like, it's not obsolete, but it's a lot less like railroad was part of like what built the industrial United States.
Oh, like completely.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And I don't know, it's interesting, it's fascinating. And the game that we played, a lot of it's kind of based around, when, the golden age of railroad, I guess. So
yeah, and we played. So let's see. So we started and we tried to do multiplayer, and that didn't work because it's a game that is like 20 years old. Yeah. And then we tried to like install like this weird little client that some dweeb on a forum made in like 2019 that had been discontinued, and that didn't work.
Yep.
so we just went on our own separate journeys. Well, let's see. Sam, you describe your first journey.
Yeah. So, let's see. So first things first. Well,
I think it's worth saying too that Henry was very, very correct.
Yeah.
About 40% of the game is building trains. Honestly, 40% is a little generous.
It's it's a capitalist simulator.
Yeah, maybe 30% is building trains, and the rest is like you're deciding. There were so many things you can adjust. I mean, so like. There's, first of all, with trains, you can get different models, and the trains have different rankings and statistics based on not only how fast they travel overall, but how fast they travel at different elevations. And some trains are like really consistent, but they don't go that fast. And then some trains are like really fast, but only if they're on flat terrain. And then you could also control things like if you have a dining car, or like what kind of cargo you're carrying, or you can be like, oh, a train can only leave this town if it has 2 cars at least to make sure it's like worth the trip. And then on top of that, there's all of this information you're keeping track of with your Tycoon business, your railroad business, and basically like managing the stocks and bonds of that business. To a pretty shocking degree of detail.
Which I will be honest, I still don't really fully understand the mechanics of all of it. Like the especially like the financial parts. The train stuff I could get into. But the whole financial half of that game, I'm not a capitalist minded person in general, so I hardly know what stocks and bonds even really are. And don't tell me. But so we booted it up, and I think I'm kind of a little bitch, and I'm bad at appreciating old things sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. In general, I just feel like there's This is gonna sound so arrogant, and I know that there's a lot of value in classic things and old things, but I feel like a lot of the times things that we make now are better iterations of those older things.
Oh yeah, like some stuff just doesn't age well, or we've like done,
right,
especially in things like video games too, where it's like so much of it is like so much of it is kind of inherently iterative.
Yeah, the mechanics, the graphics, the animations, all of it, the gameplay. And even with movies, like, this is the example I use that people get mad at me for, but like Jurassic Park, it was an incredible movie, and it still holds up, don't get me wrong, but a huge portion of what made it incredible was that it was the first to do a lot of what it did. And since then...
Oh, I completely disagree.
But that's for a different day. That's for a different podcast.
No, we're getting to this right now. I can't believe you don't like Jurassic Park.
I didn't say I don't like it. It's a good movie. I just think there's better versions of a similar concept now.
Tell me the better version of Jurassic Park.
I couldn't name it. It's definitely not the sequels. It's definitely not the newer Jurassic Parks. That's definitely not.
Oh God, no. It's got great practical effects, and the acting's great, and I think the pacing and script are great.
No, it's true.
That's crazy.
That's all true. But anyways, I digress.
We're fighting.
We're fighting now. But this is all to say that I booted it up.
No, I see what you mean.
And I was a little distracted by the age of the game initially. But then we started when we also the tutorial. I think game developers have gotten much better at making tutorials these days. It was
it was very like reading a manual.
Yeah, it was just big chunks of text.
Yeah.
Which my ADHD brain doesn't process information like that. I need to do, like, I need to hear and then do it and then learn through the doing and apply what I heard.
Yeah, and see conversely, I don't think like I'm definitely I've been like told by some people that like I might have like a hint of the autism a little bit. And I don't know. I don't think I have no idea about that. But what I do know is that the trains and the statistics did appeal to me. So there was I definitely was like, oh, got it. Stacks of odds. Got it. Great. And it was presenting information at least in a way that to me was great. But I can see how from an ADHD perspective, it's a little jumpy.
Literally. But then when we did start booting it up, that was kind of my downfall because Nate processed all of that really important information on the financial aspect of the game, which Henry warned us about too, and was like, I skipped the tutorial. I wish that I didn't. I didn't skip the tutorial, but I didn't process all of it very well.
Mentally skipped it, perhaps.
Mentally skipped it. And also, I will say, Nate was reading all the tutorial out loud. I didn't tell him this because I was like, I took the day off and I slept in and I was
was
like,
that bad?
half awake.
I'm sorry.
No. I could have said something, but he's reading it out loud and I was trying to read it and I like couldn't hear both things at the same time. So I was just like, we'll figure it out.
I had no idea. I'm sorry.
I could have said something the whole time. I just was like, whatever.
Yeah, I thought when you didn't stop me immediately, I was like, oh, if maybe Sam's listening instead of reading, maybe that's helpful.
I did start to do that.
Oh, great. Okay.
So no, not
that's so funny.
Not your fault. I literally sometimes with games like that, when I boot them up with like friends or something, I have to mute and deafen myself in Discord so that I can actually process it's so hard for me to process information like that.
Interesting.
I have to focus. Anyways, we're neurodivergent.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, and then actually, Nate, do you have anything? I feel like I've been talking for a while.
No. Well, I was gonna say, yeah, like there was kind of basically just quickly the whole thing. The gist of the stocks and bond stuff is basically if you need, like, when you start out, you don't have enough money to make trains.
Yeah.
And you need to get money to make trains. And you can do that in one of two ways. One is getting bonds, which you pay off like 1,000,000 years later, and you get a lot of money, but it's like, like you basically have to pay it back way later, so it can be a problem. And then stocks, you can like basically create more stocks to be available for your company. But if you do that, which you don't have to then pay back because you're just creating more stocks for people to buy. But if you do that too much, it lowers your stock like price, which makes your like company worth less, and therefore you make less money to make trains. It's all about trains.
Yeah,
It all comes back to trains. Or your like investors are like, hey, stop making more stock. We want money, not trains. Yeah. And so that is the system at play here.
So we booted up 2 campaigns, and I utterly failed my first one because I didn't really know what was going on with the money, and I got into just huge debt. So after a little bit, I started fresh, and it was
wasn't your like your price per share was getting into the negatives or something?
Oh, it was in negatives the whole time. My earnings per share.
Oh, your earnings per share.
No, that was almost exclusively in the negative. And then I sold all my own stock, which apparently is a huge mistake.
Yeah, you got to own part of your company.
I guess. Yeah. Who knew? What was the thing that I said that made you laugh? I was like, they told me I had to turn off the dividends.
Or like they were like, my auditor, like my accountant's telling me to sell to buy back a bunch of stuff.
I just sounded so bummed about it.
Yeah, I'm just like happily building trains, and Sam's like having a conversation with his in-game accountant.
So anyways, I started fresh, and the second one was going better.
Yeah.
I really liked, and we're focusing a little bit more on the game, I guess, than we are on trains in general. Just because I think that's what we engaged with a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, the game's the topic.
True.
Yeah.
I liked. I feel like the game parts of the game I really enjoyed. Like you make the railroads, you connect the things, and then I do enjoy like financial management systems in games. I think that if this one was made today, that half of it could have been like the UI of it could have been more palatable and engaging and easier to understand.
Yeah, a lot of the symbols, like it was just like little like user interface things. Like a lot of the symbols like were shaped the same and colored the same, and like the icons were pretty similar.
Yeah.
So it was hard to like find out where you needed to go, or there were like you would like go into a menu and they'd be like, here's like 4 tabs, and then there's 4 tabs inside of this menu, and you're like, well, you could have just like made this all on one big screen instead of giving me a billion tabs to search through. Things like that.
It was also hard to know what things affected which other things.
Yeah.
Like your money. It's like you open up the stock screen and there's like 12 things on this graph. It's like your earnings per share, your fucking revenue per share, your share value, and it's like, okay, even if you understand what those things are, that all gives you something like your spending power for stocks, which is a different number than your actual cash on hand, which is a different number than it says your cash on hand is for the sake of the stocks. And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, because you could buy stocks both with your actual money, or you could buy, if you didn't have the money for it, you could basically like you could do this. Well, I mean, honestly, it was kind of a like, yes, it was, I think, needlessly complicated, and there were like very quickly I was like, okay, there are certain numbers I need to pay attention to, and there are some that don't matter actually. Yeah. So you had to like kind of do that, which was like, you know, a fault of the game a little bit, but then
that's kind of unavoidable in those kind of games sometimes.
Yeah, but I think it did really illustrate pretty cleanly, I feel like, how like millionaires and billionaires now will like buy things without being liquid or without actually having any cash.
Yeah,
and it's
the whole fact that you could, what do they call it? Buying in margin?
Well, yeah, so buying in margin, which basically meant instead of using money, you could use, by just having a lot of money, you then can use your stocks as like an asset that is like a collateral.
It's like
credit. Which is like, well, yeah, like credit, or like, I mean, it's basically just a more complex version of like, I don't know, like giving your ID to a library to use a study room.
Yeah.
Like, except you're showing like, I have stocks, and they're like, okay, you can have this for free then, basically.
I got stocks.
I mean, that's literally what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the same way that like, I don't know, like fucking Elon Musk buys Twitter. It's like this, it's the same exact process.
It's based on their,
which
like,
I think,
their value, not actually the money that they have.
Yeah, so like it definitely was like more complicated than I think anyone would need to like understand stocks at just like a basic level or something. But I do think it's like, I could see, I guess what I'm saying is like I could see it having like educational value.
Yeah.
Like for that reason.
I think I could enjoy the game more if I had a better grasp. And if I had more time with it on that half of it.
Man, if this was on my IMAX at like elementary school, I'd be playing the shit out of this.
It reminded me of like Catan, or there was a game I used to play with my family. I think it was called Mexican Train. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mexican Train.
You played it? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a domino game.
That too. Yeah, it's a domino game, and that's like the whole thing of the game, I guess, is you're making railroads, and you're wanting to connect railroads. Unless I'm thinking of a different game. I think I'm thinking of a different game.
Well, you're thinking of Ticket to Ride, maybe.
I'm thinking of Ticket to Ride. That game was awesome. Yeah. Do you have that game?
Yeah. I don't.
Oh, we should play Ticket to Ride. I like to Ticket to Ride.
It's fun.
It was fun.
But yeah, like I think definitely had like some echoes of other games, or like it almost was giving Oregon Trail in some ways.
Yeah.
Like that same level of like a lot of detail, but not all of it is important, and like it's almost like some of the things they were like describing about stocks and stuff seemed pseudo educational.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I could totally see it being on one of your like, you know, big old chunky colorful iMacs in your elementary school classroom.
Oh, IMAX. You said that the first time, and I was thinking of like the movie theater, and I was like, why would you play it?
Oh, sorry.
Like
no, the
like
you know, the
Mac.
old Macs that had like the ones that were like colored and like they were all in like the computer labs and stuff.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah. I guess we are like we're only 3 years apart. How old am I?
You're 30.
I'm 31.
I'm 28.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But I know what you're talking about though.
So we still had IMAX. Yeah. But yeah, like I think it was fun to like kind of figure out the system, and I mean it's the same way you like, enjoy something like Civ now, which is like a way better designed, Civ. Bigger, yeah.
And that's the thing,
which is like obviously,
I do think Civ's economic system is a lot more simplified. Have you ever played Stellaris though?
Stellaris, you tried to get me to play, that was overwhelming.
Yes, Stellaris has a much more complex like economic.
And I would argue Civ, if you're like trying to really dig in and understand the system, is more complex than Railroad Tycoon.
See, the thing though is you can open up a single page that'll show you exactly where you're getting all your money from per turn and exactly where all your money is going per turn. That was really hard to see in Railroad, which.
Oh yeah,
maybe you could.
It was hard to see like where you were getting money from stuff, or you could get to it, but it was again hidden within a bunch of tabs. But anyway, I think it was like I did really enjoy the the combination of the business stuff with the train stuff. Yeah. I thought it was just like interesting and different.
Yeah, I do really enjoy it, like a good economic manager. I think a lot of that was going over my little ADHD head.
Yeah. Oh, and then all the stuff with I don't know, like figuring out it seems like in this city in Mexico they're producing they're really lacking in like alcohol. So like where can we get alcohol from one city and then like bring it to Mexico? Like the kind of the tracking of resources I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
And there were like 100 resources. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
they were like they had like, it was like cotton, and then it was like cars, and then like just like furniture. There were so many specific little things.
What was appealing to me was just the like creating a network. I think it's just cool and fun, like a bustling. I really like in management games when you set up like automated shit and you just all your little ants are going around doing their thing.
Watching.
And it's just working like a fine oil machine. That's so satisfying to me.
Yeah, I wanted a little bit more of that. You're right.
I think you could get there. I think we just didn't play far enough, and it just is hard.
I will say one fun thing that I know we're running out of time. One fun thing that I loved was you saw like other companies are popping up and like trying to compete with you.
I think
and at one
multiplayer would have been so fun. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I know it would. But one fun thing was when you saw that like one, like I saw that one train company was getting a lot of money from this one thing from like, I was doing a Texas map, so it was like Austin to San Antonio, and I literally at first I was like, oh, let's put a train on their track, like because I can just do that and then I'll get money. But then I had to keep paying to use their track. So what I did was I just built another track and station and like refill things all like right next to their thing. and so it was like whenever I'd pick a station to put a train, it would be like San Antonio or San Antonio Junction, and that was mine. so like, and then eventually I bought out the other company, and then I just had two train lines.
That's hilarious.
Like right next to each other.
I wonder like
I thought it was funny to just like play around with that.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like because the game has a whole system of like they'll only send trains if trains is the most financially practical way. I wonder if that affects that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean it's sending like the most. It would automatically send the thing that's going to make the most profit. So like depending on like what resources are needed where.
Would the game like struggle to decide whether or not to use your railroad or their railroad?
I think it was just divvying it up, which meant less for both of us.
Interesting.
Which was funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
Oh, and you had a train crash?
I had a train crash, and I thought it was because I somehow finagled the railroad to be almost at a 90-degree angle. I don't think that was why. Wow. I think it was just unlucky, but it was because it was a steep hill, and then I put a station on it, and it messed with the terrain and just made it the sharpest.
It just like jumped it.
Drop off, and I don't think that's what crashed it, but I did have a train crash. I had to sell it and buy a new one using a bond, which put me into more debt. And you know what? We're in enough debt in real life.
I truly am in enough debt in real life.
Yeah,
that is really where I'm at.
Me and you too, brother. Donate to our Patreon. We'll give you t-shirts, and I'll kiss you on the lips.
My Venmo is Nate-Hall-11.
Kiss will sound like this. Mwah, mwah, mwah. That's the sound of what it'll be like when I kiss you on the mouth because you give me money. Sam-Martin-99 on Venmo. Mwah.
Yeah, both of which are real Venmos.
My microphone smells kind of funny.
Okay, Sam's fading fast.
Smells kind of like
as
food.
usual. So we're gonna wrap it up. But but guys, next week we got a real fun ep for you. It's gonna be talking about sewing, not knitting, as Sam might have thought. Sam's literally stepping away from the camera. He's already quit. We're gonna be talking about knitting. No, Jesus, we're gonna talk about sewing. Sewing with.
Oh, Nate, your audio stopped. I can't hear you.
Oh, that's funny. So I turned off my microphone. So I'm just gonna do all that clean again. We're winding down, guys. Sam's already fading fast. He's not even at his chair right now.
Yeah, I am.
But he came back. Next week we're gonna be talking about sewing with Tori Kilkenny, our one of my short leap ensemble friends, and just an all around great and funny person. She's a stand up too.
Yeah.
She's
very funny.
She's so funny. So we'll be doing that next week. So tune in next week for that, and then we'll see you later.
I'm gonna do a send off.
Go ahead, Sam. I'm letting you.
I have a box of cards called Truth or Dare for couples. I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you think is the least sexy part of your body, Nate? And what is the most sexy?
Oh my God, the least sexy part of my body? Probably. Oh, I mean, no one's thinking about my elbows. Probably.
We'll see about that.
They're just scratchy little elbows.
Chat, if you think Nate's elbows are sexy, send me $5. If you think his elbows are not sexy, send him $5.
And then it's got to be my hair.
If you think his hair is sexy, send me $5 and say hair on it or something. If you think his hair's not sexy, fuck you.
This send off is meandering.
You're meandering.
I don't like it.
We'll see you next week, gang. Goodbye.
Show me to us, Rachel.